Quorum this evening. We have 2 members present and 4 other members are participating remotely. At 6:30, we're going to call the meeting to order and approve the minutes of December 14th. I don't believe we have any A&Rs tonight, Jean?
No, we do not.
So at 6:33, we'll have the right of first refusal from Kenneth P. Kozowski for lots B, C, and D on Podunk Road. At 6:35, we'll have a public hearing for a special, signed special permit at 178 Main Street, Planet Fitness. After that, we'll have the town planner update, then old and new business, and then adjournment. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes of December 14th?
Yes.
Any
Yes.
questions, comments?
Yes.
Motion then to accept them as submitted.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Thank you, Mike. A second?
Seconded, Jeff.
Okay, Jeff.
Yes.
No other discussion? We'll have, I guess, a roll call vote.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, how do you vote?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Wally?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Very good. Okay. Jane, do you want to explain this right of first refusal?
Yes. So in your packet, you have a purchase and sale agreement for a property located on Podunk Road, and this is listed as lots B, C, and D. You'll recall a while back, we actually did an A&R for this property, and it totals about 4.5 acres, and the purchase price is $150,000. I would recommend that the board send correspondence to the Board of Selectmen recommending that we not exercise the right of first refusal. It's not adjacent to anything else that we may own, and it's rather a small piece when you total it up. So that would be my recommendation.
Great. Does anyone have any questions or comments on that? If not, could we have a motion then to send the notice to the Board of Selectmen that we do not recommend exercising the right of first refusal?
So moved.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second, Sue. Any other discussion? We'll have a roll call vote. Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Wally?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Very good. Thank you. And it looks like we are at 6:35. Sue, can you read the public hearing notice?
In accordance with the provisions of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 11, the Planning Board will hold a public hearing at the Sturbridge Town Hall, 308 Main Street, Sturbridge, Mass., on Tuesday, January 11th, 2022, at 6:35 p.m. on the application of the Viewpoint Sign and Awning, 35 Lyman Street, Northborough, Massachusetts, 01532. The applicant requests a special permit pursuant to Article 17, Section 300-17.5 E of the zoning bylaw regarding the erection and maintenance of signs in excess of what is specifically allowed in the bylaw. The applicant is proposing an 87.25 square foot building sign where 30 square feet is allowed under the sign bylaw. The property is located at 178 Main Street, Sturbridge, Massachusetts. A copy of the application can be inspected on the Sturbridge Town website at www.sturbridge.gov/planning-board/pages/recent-filings. Or arrangements can be made to view the application packet by contacting the Sturbridge Planning Department at 508-347-2508 or by email at jlacy@sturbridge.gov. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the proposal shall appear at the time and place designated. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided to the public, the meeting or hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technology problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public who wish to participate remotely may listen or watch the meeting online via the town's on-demand video broadcast or via cable television on channel 191. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation can be found on the town's website at www.sturbridge.gov/town-administrator/how-access-virtual-meeting.
Very good, thank you very much. Jean, do you want to give us an introduction on this?
So with us this evening is Ann Ramsey from Viewpoint Signs, and she's representing Planet Fitness. So you have my report in your packet, and you can see the applicant's requesting an 87.5 square foot sign to be placed on the wall of the building, and under the bylaw, 30 square feet is allowed. This square footage, the square footage requested is very consistent with the other businesses in the plaza. In fact, Ocean State Job Lot just received a permit for an 87.5 square foot sign. So I think it's very consistent with what's there. It will make the sign more visible from the roadway. You can see that Ann actually sent over some renderings today of what a 30 square foot sign would look like versus the 87 point, it's actually 2.5 on this rendering. And you can see it's a big difference. It just looks out of scale, out of sorts, kind of disappears onto the facade. So no staff had any concerns. I would recommend approval of the sign. I should mention too, I had asked for lighting details, and the cut sheet for the light bar was sent over via email today. And it will just be a bar that will be placed under the sign. You can see it in this rendering here. I don't know if anybody looking at me can see this, probably not. But the bar will be underneath the lettering. And then one final detail to note, corporate is changing their guidance for signs, and unless the lettering can be at least 36 inches high, they're requesting their franchisees not put the gear. However, this franchisee really wants the gear, so Ann has presented you two options this evening. So my recommendation would be just to approve the total square footage with the details of the gear, or to gear or not to gear, be worked out with the franchisee and corporate, and the final details of which sign is selected be provided to the planning department for the file.
Great, that sounds good. Andy, have anything you'd like to add, or?
She said it just perfect, actually. Usually have to do more talking than that, but thank you very much.
Okay. Mike, do you have any questions or
No
comments?
questions, no.
Wally? Any questions or comments, Wally?
No, I'm all set, thank you.
Jeff?
No questions.
Sue?
No questions.
Dane?
Can the light bar be a down light instead of an up light?
I can bring that to my client for sure. I did suggest he did goosenecks, but this architect was kind of pushing the lights that they put on there. But
Yeah, I took a look at the cut sheet for the light bar, and it shows that it can articulate 360 degrees, so it seems functional if they would relocate it.
Joe, you'd rather see the same light bar on top of it? Is what you're
Oh yeah, I don't have any objection to the light bar itself. I mean, I like a gooseneck fixture too, but the thing that stuck out to me is that it's pointing up. I prefer lights that point down.
Okay, I can bring that to my client. He did it up because that's the way JCPenney is. So I believe that was the only reason he did that. I mean, the lamp, the
Okay.
light itself is what he likes, so I don't.
Yeah,
have
the
any objection.
lamp seems fine. I think if we just put it above the sign and tilt it downward, and I have no other questions.
Yeah, I guess the only question I have on that, I understand your concern, Dane, but my thought is it probably focuses right on the sign itself rather than,
Yeah,
say,
it's a
going
lot.
really up or down.
It will just light the sign.
So, all right. But I don't know if that would make a difference in your thoughts on it if they decide not to put it on the top?
Yeah, I generally agree with you. They're more of a wash bar. It doesn't project out that far from the
Right.
facade itself, so it doesn't point straight up into the sky like some sort of, like if this was a monument sign
Right.
and you had a ground light that was pointed towards it kind of thing. I'm just trying to be consistent with my comments about lighting across applications. In this commercial area with all the other light and the lack of environment, I don't think that reducing one light wash bar is really going to save the world over here. That was just, if it can be above the sign as well as below it for no other reason than it just got drawn there, then why not show it above it?
Okay, and if they can, if they decide that the lower light is better, you have no issue with that, or is it, either way is fine as long as they review it?
Yeah, I'm not going to change my vote if the
Okay.
light bar goes in a different location. Yep.
Oh, fine, that's good. Okay, is anyone in the public here that has any other comments on that, or you want to check the,
Is anyone on the
Public
public
okay.
line that would like to speak regarding the public hearing for the special permit for the sign for Planet Fitness to be located at 178 Main Street? No.
okay. Well, I think I'll then take a vote to close the public hearing. Can I have a motion to close the public
So
hearing?
moved.
Thank you, Mike. Second, Sue? Great. Roll
Second, Sue?
call. Yeah. Roll call vote, Mike, yes?
Yes. Yep.
Wally?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Sue? Okay. and
Yes.
Yes, a yes, and Dane?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Very good. Okay, do you have conditions you want to put on this, Jean, for the motion?
No, I do not. I would just recommend that the motion be to approve a sign for Planet Fitness at 87.25 square feet to be mounted on the building as shown on the plan, light options to be evaluated, and final design to be provided to the planning department.
Very good, thank you. Motion?
So moved, exactly what Jean just said.
All right, thank you. Mike, can I have a second?
Second, Sue?
Thank you. Any other discussion? If not, Mike?
Yes.
Wally?
No.
No, you want to vote? We're ready. If no one has any comments, we're ready to vote to approve this, I think. So Mike is a yes.
Yes. Yep.
Wally?
Yes.
Okay, Jeff?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Very good. Thank you for coming in.
Perfect, thank you.
All right. Let's see, I think next on the agenda is the town planner update. Jean?
Yes, so I really don't have much for you. I am currently working with town council on some potential
Thank you.
bylaw language for marijuana delivery services. So there are currently two new types of business that are not addressed in our bylaw, and one is a marijuana courier and one is a marijuana delivery service. The marijuana courier can get a license from the Cannabis Control Commission to deliver cannabis from any facility into any community that allows for retail establishments. The other marijuana delivery business is more of a, consider it like a wholesale warehouse for cannabis, and they can deliver out to anybody. And so if we wish to prohibit them, which I guess my recommendation is that maybe we should consider prohibiting that, because number one, we have two small retailers here that have been proven to be very good community partners.
Right.
And I think that competition from large delivery services like that could really negatively impact their businesses. So I did learn, however, where originally I was advised that we could just request the Cannabis Control Commission through a vote of the Board of Selectmen, take us off the do not deliver list. They have since changed their guidance. And so I don't know how many of you were on the board when we did the bylaw, but if you remember, to not allow something, you had to have a zoning bylaw change, and you also had to have a ballot question change. So I am working with town council. Unfortunately, she's been a little under the weather, so I don't have the changes ready. And I'm not entirely sure I'll have them ready for the 24th, which is our next meeting. But what I would like to do is I would like to bring the proposed idea or proposed changes and proposed ballot language to the planning board, and if you agree with my recommendation, perhaps we could send a letter to the Board of Selectmen asking that they pursue this. And if the planning board decides it doesn't want to go forward with it, then, you know, at least I feel I've done my due diligence to try to protect our existing businesses. And I'm not sure how it would fare at the ballot or at town meeting. There may be people that just want to allow it, but I think out of courtesy and respect to our existing businesses who, really are great community partners.
Right.
When we had the road race recently, a lot of the volunteers at the Home of the Brave road race were actually working for both the cannabis companies, and they volunteered their time, so.
Good.
So that's my recommendation. I'm not sure whether I'd have it. If I don't, then I would maybe just suggest that in light of the spike in COVID cases, maybe we just cancel that last meeting and meet again in February,
Sure, well, that sounds good.
unless an A&R or something comes in,
Right.
of course.
Oh, that makes sense.
So,
Okay, that sounds good to me. Does everyone else agree with that? Any other issues or concerns about that? Great.
Just to clarify, is what you're recommending that those two uses be banned through a zoning amendment?
Yes, they would be prohibited uses. However, what I'm trying to do is work with council to craft the language that our current retailers could provide delivery service in town. So really what I'm trying to prevent is kind of a mega warehouse from opening in town that can, deliver anywhere across the state, number one, and then also to try to prevent other, delivery couriers from opening up business and taking business away from our two retailers.
So it sounds like the motivation with the second one is to protect existing retailers. What's the motivation with the first one, a reduction in traffic?
No, to protect the existing retailers as well, because they can deliver out to anybody, large quantities. So they can do home delivery service, they can also sell wholesale to other retailers. So it's both. If it were just a wholesale operation, maybe I would feel a little bit differently, but they can also deliver to anybody in the community, which I think would take away business from the two existing businesses.
But those two types of operations wouldn't have people going to them. They would just be like industrial building or something with trucks and vans that would scoot out and about and then come back.
Yes.
Okay, I need to do a little more research to see if it's the purview of the planning board to protect existing businesses from competition.
Well, I think in my opinion, it is the purview of the planning board to look out for the best interests of the community. And existing
Agreed.
businesses are community members, so that's my position. Obviously, I respect all positions, but it is something that I want to bring to the board for consideration. When it was brought to my attention that this was kind of new uses that could be established in town, it caused both Mr. Bridges was here at the time and myself to kind of pause and talk to our existing retailers and see how they thought it might impact or not impact their businesses. And then we had a conference call with town council as well about.
Yeah, not to mention, this is Jeff, that the largest restriction on many of these establishments is restricting the amount of establishments within each municipality. So, I'd be interested in knowing, Gene, whether or not, as far as the courier, I don't know nearly as much as the kind of the wholesale shops that would open up. But in terms of the couriers, whether or not there are restrictions that municipalities are putting in place to require couriers to only purchase from local establishments in that municipality.
I don't think that you can do that, Jeff, but my plan would be to provide a whole entire packet to the board, give you some background information, how we got here, and then kind of options for regulating it or not regulating it. So I will definitely provide more information on that when I have everything together.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. I mean, this is really the first I've heard of this and these other options. So certainly, I think we need to get all the facts and make a decision on what we feel is best. Great.
Right, and that's kind of my only, my only goal is to bring you the information so that you can make an informed decision, and that, we can either move forward or not move forward.
Good. Okay. Anything else, Gene, or?
No, that's all I have.
Okay. Next, we have old and new business. Mike, I'll start with you. Any old or new business? Okay. Sue?
No?
Okay, Dane?
I do. Jean buried the lead. She got almost $400,000 in money for our town through the Complete Streets program. It's a grant that she sent an email around about us. Thank you very much to Jean and Janae, and I'm sure there were more work maybe from the DPW with Butch Jackson over there, but I'm very excited about this. Thank you for doing the work to get the grant, and I'm excited to see the work happen with the money.
Oh, you're welcome, and we cannot take full credit. As you mentioned, we did this in conjunction with the DPW. So we actually wrote the Complete Streets Plan that was adopted by the town that allowed us to apply for this grant. So it is exciting. It will be great to have sidewalks on Street going up to the recreation area.
Very good, thank you very much. Great, thanks for bringing it up, Dane. Anything else? Dane?
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
Wally?
No, I'm all set, thank you.
Jeff? Okay, and I have nothing under old and new business. With that, I guess we'll have a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Mike? Second? I'll second.
Second.
Second, Sue, great. Mike, how do you vote?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Dane?
Yes.
Wally?
Yes.
And Jeff?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Very good, thank you. Have a great evening, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night.
Night.